I got this 3DS from eBay a few weeks ago. It's in good condition and has an earlier firmware, which is perfect because I want to hack it and use it for streaming. Capture cards are just too expensive. However, there is a small issue. The left and right direction buttons do not work. Today, I'll try to fix that. Stay tuned. I just got this replacement board from eBay. As you can see, there are 4 metal domes, which are the switches, and a tiny ribbon cable. The switches have a nice feedback. First, I'll remove the bottom cover. It's held by 2 Phillips screws. Then, I'll pry it open by lifting from the 2 tabs on the sides. It takes a bit of force. Next, I'll remove the micro SD card and the battery. The SD card socket is held by 2 screws. This needs to come off next. I lift it up a bit, but I do not pull since it has a ribbon cable attached to a Lego connector underneath. Let me adjust the light so we can see a bit better. These connectors are very easy to undo. Just lift with a blunt tool or a fingernail. There we go. Now that that's removed, we need to unscrew the screws holding the bottom shell. There's 2 screws under the rubber feet, so I'm taking those off. There's 7 screws in total. Do not unscrew the 4 screws under the battery. Now comes the tricky part. Do not pull on the bottom shell since it too is connected to the circuit board by some ribbon cables. There's 3 in total. Just prop it open and use a blunt screwdriver or a plastic tool to undo the connectors. The area of interest is the section with the game card slot. It's a separate board and we need to take it out to get access to the direction pod board, which is underneath there. Notice the ribbon cable coming from under the right side? So, first we need to unclip this latch connector that's holding the ribbon in place. Then, we can pull the ribbon wire out. Next, I unscrew the 4 screws holding the slot board in place. There's also a Lego connector that's part of it, so I undo that as well. Now the whole thing comes out by lifting from the side and sliding it away from under where it was sitting. and then we have access to the faulty directional pad board. I unscrew the 4 screws holding it. Here's the faulty board. It was sitting over a rubber contact pad. Let's put that away and replace it with the new part. I'm making sure to put it in the correct position. Ribbon to the right. And now we just have to reassemble what we took apart. Screw the new board with the 4 screws. I make sure the buttons have good feedback and then tighten the screws the rest of the way. Next, I push the game slot board back into place, and my ribbon connector got stuck a bit, so I had to pry it loose again before connecting. You connect these real easy. Just align them and push on the top. They snap on just like Legos. Then I put back and screw the 4 screws holding the game slot board in place. I use a pair of tweezers to push the ribbon cable in place, and then I clip on the latch on the connector. The next bit is the trickiest. I need to align the 3 ribbon connectors while closing the bottom shell shut. The first one is easy, but the other 2 take a bit of trial and error. But you'll eventually get there. You really cannot mess anything up. After I've managed that, I line up the cover and screw it back on with the 7 screws. Attaching the SD ribbon is also tricky because there's so little room to work in. I had to use a screwdriver bit to apply the necessary force to clip the Lego connector in place, and then I use my finger to make sure that it's clipped well. Then, just screw the 3 screws holding the slot in place and reinsert the micro SD card and the battery. Put the rubber feet back on and close the bottom cover. Now then, the moment of truth. And it works! That's awesome! I also make sure all the rest of the buttons work and everything seems in order. This operation was a success. Job well done. Alright, thanks for watching and I hope to see you in the next one.